Hello YouTube. Just gonna go on a couple of EDC flashlights that I use for, or have been using for everyday carry, as well as for work. I had first started off a long time ago with the Fenix P2D flashlight. Definitely one of their older models. And it's been a good flashlight over the years. The biggest problem I have is that they end up taking the CR123 batteries, which were fairly pricey. I know you can buy them in bulk, but over the years I've just been using it a lot, and for the price point that the flashlight was in comparison to the batteries that I use for it, I ended up stepping up to the PD35. This is the older model. It was quite a bit bigger. It's at least twice the height. About the same in width, but this is about 87 grams and the P2D is about 38 grams. I ended up just picking up a simple little Olight that I'm starting to carry. As you can see, it's still got the pocket clip on it. The other ones I've lost the pocket clips for. The problem with the Fenix pocket clips is they come off very, very easily, and I've lost all of them. I don't know if I can get a replacement or not, but with the size difference between the PD35 and the P2D is significant enough that I was carrying this a lot more, but I was going through so many batteries, especially for work, that it just wasn't worth it after a while. So I ended up getting the Olight, the IT3 EOS. It's a lot simpler, smaller, simpler. The menu system's not as complex. I haven't really had the need for a tactical style flashlight, even though I started out with these for quite some time. Basically, I needed something to take a look at whatever I dropped underneath the car seat, or light up a room as I'm going through it, or at a theater, a darkened theater. And that was about it. I didn't need to throw, I didn't need the spotlight. So a simple light like this, where it's got two different settings. The low setting at 5 lumens lasts for about 16 hours. It's bright enough. And then 180 lumens, and it's a good floodlight. It looks like a spotlight here, but some of the other videos online that you can see are definitely more of a floodlight, closer to the Fenix P2D. But as you can see, that's a clearly defined spotlight, and even more so with the PD35. So, with the menu system being easier, just having two different options on there definitely serves my purpose for my EDC tasks, that's for sure. And it's a lot lighter. It's about the same weight as the P2D, but as you can see, it's quite a bit thinner. It's about half the size. About the same length, maybe just a little bit longer with the end sticking out. The nice cool feature about the pocket clip here is it's very sturdy. It's on there very well. I don't suspect that's going to come off. It's got a unique feature where the other end of the pocket clip can be attached to a baseball cap or something, so you can have a headlamp. It's kind of cool. Don't always wear a baseball cap, but it's kind of a neat feature that other flashlights don't offer. I recognize that there's a lot of different models out there. These are the kind of the ones that I've stuck with over the years. Most of them will probably end up in the kitchen drawer or in my glove box. The 18650 batteries are great. They're long lasting. I've got rechargeable batteries. A couple years after I bought this particular model, they came up with another model, the version 2, that you can plug in via USB, which was a lot easier. I had to buy a separate battery charger for it, which was kind of a pain. And a lot easier. Every device that we have nowadays seems to be USB chargeable, so I was going to go with that idea with the EOS system as well, but I just decided that having something small as a AAA, you know, I can throw anything in there. The 180 lumens lasts about 20 minutes or so for just a small AAA, easily replaceable, easy to carry a few spares, either in my camera bag or in the glove box. So overall, because I'm 30-hour runtime, so it's quite a bit longer of a runtime for the low setting. 50 lumens at 5.5 hours, 100 lumens on high at 2-hour runtime, which is significantly longer than the EOS. But the turbo is where it starts to really run down. So 175 lumens, I'm going on 1 hour here. Now I get that in the same time I'm going to go through multiple batteries in the AAA, but they're significantly cheaper. So I've also found that over time the CR123 batteries don't last nearly as long as an hour. I believe they're more like a half hour to 45 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. So with that and the greater expense of the battery, I tend not to use this very much anymore, even though its diminutive size lends fairly well to EDC. But again, I've lost the pocket clip. For work, I ended up using the PD35 and rechargeable batteries, and that's great. But because I bought the version before you could charge it via micro USB, I'm stuck with removing the battery and charging it separately. And the runtime for this guy is the older version. Max output is 110 minutes at 960 lumens, which is significantly more than either of those two. But I don't actually notice, unless it's across a football field, the difference between max and high, which is about 460 lumens. And that gives you a runtime about 3 hours 15 minutes. Medium at 180 lumens, which we're now back to the Olight, we're going 10 hours here, which is significantly longer. Again, the issue for my EDC task stuff was I never needed that much runtime, unless I'm going trick-or-treating with the kids and going out for hours on end, which I'd probably use that on medium at 10-hour runtime. I'm getting significant enough runtime that I don't have to go through multiple batteries in an evening. And of course the eco mode on this guy for 38 lumens is 142 hours, which is crazy. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. So the eco mode for this is 38 hours at 14 lumens, which is, you can leave that on all day and it's a couple of days and it's fine. Again, the size difference between the two of these is substantial, and it's just so much easier carrying something smaller that, especially around town where I have access to anywhere that sells AAAs, or even carrying a few spare ones on me in my camera bag, like I said, or in the glove compartment, makes it readily available. In case I need to swap out the battery, I can even pop one in my pocket and hardly notice it in comparison to some of the other flashlights. If you've got a small EDC flashlight that you have and highly recommend, post in the comments below. If you notice anything that is similar to this where it is micro USB chargeable, I'm definitely interested. I'll probably do my own research on it as well, but for the time being, for 20 bucks, I really just couldn't go wrong with this.